Hey Pipsqueaks, welcome back to my channel. First, before we get started on the creepy things Teletubbies are and do, every video, if you're new here, we all answer a question, and then the next video, your answer in the comments will get a shout out. So the last video's question was, have you ever played with a Ouija board? Now we're going to show some of the answers across the screen right now. My answer was no. If you're new here, I've never played it with a Ouija board and I never will. And there's a bunch of creepy Ouija board stories times on my channel from family. So if you want to see them, they will be in the cards. Don't play with Ouija boards, kids. It's not a real game. Alright, so today's question is, what is your favorite spooky / Halloween song? Let me know in the comments below and it will be featured in the next video. Also, you have to answer these before the next video comes out, obviously, so the faster you answer, the more likely that you'll be in the video. So with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe so you know when the videos come out, turn the little bell on so you know and you can be the first to answer, and follow me on social media so you can see behind the scene type stuff. And let's just get started. So as we all remember, the Teletubbies, yes, unless this has been a thing and I just didn't know about it, but apparently Teletubbies are coming back in the world. Now when I was little, I wasn't really allowed to watch Teletubbies because my parents knew just how creepy it was, and I forgot about it for a while. And now at work, I work with kids if you're new here. Now all the kids just talk about Teletubbies, and there's a new cartoon, like new as in still airing right now. Did you know that? So today we're gonna be talking about what the Teletubbies are, where they came from, why everyone thinks they're so creepy. There's gonna be fact creepy reactions. There's videos that I haven't seen that we're gonna react to together. So here we go. Grab your snack. Let's just get started. So when you look up Teletubbies, this is what pops up. So I'm going to read what Teletubbies was supposed to be, and then we're going to talk about what they actually are. So it says, Teletubbies is a British children's television series created by Ragdoll Productions. The program focuses on 4 multicolored creatures known as the Teletubbies, named after the television screens implanted in their abdomens. That's the official, like when you look up Teletubbies, that's what it says. But this is like how everyone else sees them. Some people say they are aliens, some people say that they're supposed to be astronauts, some people say that they're just in snowsuits. Did you know that the show is specifically designed to accommodate to toddlers? It says the show is specifically designed to appeal to young children who hadn't yet intellectualized the process of learning. With its pastoral sets and use of gibberish as language, the show promoted a non-linear creative development, meeting the target audience right at its own level. So that just goes to show you, they weren't trying to teach like most kids shows. They were just trying to be a toddler show. Isn't that weird to anyone else? Wouldn't you want to, like, I don't know, maybe not try and communicate with toddlers, maybe try and teach them something? But no, Teletubbies is just to blend in with toddlers. So the TV show says they're just creatures with TVs in their stomach. First off, what? In one episode of the Teletubbies called Seesaw, it was so scary that they had to ban it from the TV. The episode Seesaw contained a lion and a bear made out of moving cutouts that somehow managed to be creepy. See, to me, I guess as a kid I could see how that would be creepy, but that wasn't that creepy to me. You let me know what you think down below. Following the show's enormous success, the owner was so tired of trespassers that she flooded the site where Teletubbies exterior shots were filmed. She claimed people were jumping the fences and crossing cattle fields. Is that weird to you? Like, you were tired of trespassers, so she turned it into a pond so that the outside world of Teletubbies is not there anymore, which I find really weird. Why wouldn't you just, like, I don't know, flooding it? Alright, does everyone remember Tubby custard? That's actually literally just mashed potatoes that they added red and yellow acrylic paint in. Did you know that most of the Teletubbies in real life are giant? They're literally like 11 feet tall. So the people inside the costumes used to have built-in seats so they could sit down instead of holding up like an 11-foot stuffed animal pretty much on your head. This is blending in with the next fact. They had giant rabbits on set. Yeah, the little bunnies you see hopping through the field. The Teletubbies are so giant, they had to get giant bunnies that match. And these are real life things. These are bunnies that do exist. They're just like giant. Somehow in their little creation, they ended up being giant. So they needed to find giant rabbits so that the Teletubbies didn't look so big. Because the Teletubbies, if you remember, they're supposed to be toddlers. So they just had to accommodate because these giant baby aliens with a TV in their stomach to make them look proportionate. Another thing that I found really weird is they were famous back in the day. It's from 1997. That's what year I was born. So shout out to all you Teletubbiers. Anyways, the Teletubbies themselves, the people that dressed up as them, were so famous that they literally got fan mail from kids and the parents. So for some reason, parents did think it was cool at a time. They claim to be like the Beatles. And to wrap up the fun facts of Teletubbies, the creators eventually sold the show in 2013. Now why do you think that would be? I just find it really weird that they suddenly sold a show that everyone started to think was creepy. Alright, so now let's move on to the reaction part. First off, those facts are so weird. I've been so freaked out why all these kids nowadays are watching Teletubbies, and then I remembered that I couldn't watch them when I was little, so I was wondering why. Now I know why. Alright, so now we're going to react to creepy moments of Teletubbies, and there's supposedly a scary Teletubby theory that everyone's talking about right now, so we're gonna react to some of those. And if you want to watch the full videos, if I don't end up showing the whole clip, I will leave them linked down below. Okay, so this first one is called Top 10 Scary Teletubbies Theories.
What's up, people? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan, and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. But these very colourful, fat, smiley creatures, are they really as innocent as they appeared? And is anyone going to mention how creepy the baby's son was? I'm not saying the baby itself was creepy, but the concept was just weird. And I'm about to ruin it for you, so let's go. This is the Top 10 Scary Teletubbies Theories. Starting us off with number 10, genetically engineered slaves. Nowhere in the show do we ever find out where the Teletubbies come from, where they are, how they got there, absolutely nothing. The only thing we do know is that they aren't in control of their own destiny. They're controlled by 3 factors. The first is the voice, which is the maternal voice that blasts from the speakers below them and tells them when they should eat, when they should say goodbye, and when they should sleep. And since this voice is there in every episode, it's clear that something bigger than the show is monitoring the Teletubbies and what they're doing. The second factor controlling them is Younow, the anthropomorphic vacuum cleaner that literally follows them around, cleaning up after them and then scolding them when they make bad decisions. That's what Younow is on the surface, but really it's more of a watchdog and the tool used by whoever put the Teletubbies there to control them. The final thing is the mysterious godhead wind peel that the Teletubbies worship. Whenever it spins, the Teletubbies drop whatever they're doing and run to the hill and perform a ritual for the gods, trying to be the only one that's favored. The one that gets chosen has their genetically implanted TV screen activated, and it's seen as a reward because they're the Teletubby that gets to deliver the message to the other ones. The screen itself shows an indoctrination video showing the world of man and how one day the Teletubbies are going to serve us. Now we come on to the sun baby. It's something the Teletubbies won't fear, they understand it, and they like the baby, but really the baby is just hiding the totalitarian eyes that watch them from the outside. Either way, it's clear that the Teletubbies are cut off from outside influence and are being controlled and courted into becoming our slaves. Quite sad when you think about it that way. Filling our number 7 slot is the Harry Potter crossover. No, there was never a massive Harry Potter and Teletubbies crossover that you missed, but Emma Lord theorized that J.K. Rowling was inspired by watching the Teletubbies. So the show first aired in 1997, and 2 months later the first Harry Potter book came out. Now just imagine J.K. watching Harry Potter with her daughter, and yes, I know the first episode aired after she had completed the first draft, but first drafts can always be changed. But it was actually Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows where the crossover came to fruition. According to Emma, Lala was the best Teletubby, so Harry Potter is Lala. Then comes Tinky Winky as the invisibility cloak, because apparently no one cared about Tinky Winky, which in Tinky Winky's defense is very harsh. Someone had to be the oldest of the group, we can't hate him for it. Anyway, next comes Dipsy as the elder one, because Dipsy was always screwing things up at home and is the most stubborn one of the group, and let's face it, the elder one was pretty problematic. Last but not least comes cute little Po as a resurrection stone. Despite her being the youngest of the group, she clearly had the hunger to live forever. And there you have it, guys, the crossover is complete. Utterly ridiculous, I know, but perhaps plausible. Now at number 6 is Tubby Custard. Honestly, I used to love watching them eat Tubby Custard or throw it around. It looks so good, I just wanted to devour it. It doesn't have the same color or texture as custard, so clearly it isn't proper custard. It looks sort of like liquefied chewing gum, so the user theorized the Hoover chews many packets of gum all at once and then separates them into 4 even molds while the Teletubbies are outside. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, the user came up with another theory. He went on to discuss a theory about how sometimes the government uses cartoons to promote unhealthy eating practices, so what if Tubby Custard was the pink fake meat from McDonald's? The meat there is just random bits of chicken blended together becoming pink from leftover blood. And the kids watching the show obviously wouldn't know the difference, so it would subliminally promote the message of eating things like that. Coming in at number 5 is the demon face. So I'm sure everyone watching the video has watched the show, but if you haven't, the baby sun appears in every episode and it rises during the intro. We've all seen it, there's nothing new there. But one user decided to watch it late at night one day just because he was bored, which, I mean, fair enough, we all love a bit of nostalgia. But he realized about 20 seconds in, right before the baby sun disappears, it morphed into a demonic form or shape. And it wasn't that, while the screen was stretching out, the sun just started looking strange. No, it morphed into something and then stretched and disappeared. Thinking maybe it was just late and he was tired and saw something that wasn't there, he decided to watch another video to confirm. And it was there again. He watched another one and it was there again as well. And now I'm like, what's up with that? Why does a children's show have subliminal images of horror inside of it that's being fed to young children via Teletubbies? The user went on to digest the episode even more and realized most of the episodes have an endlessly spinning windmill that he reckons mirrors hypnotic imagery. Children's minds really aren't as developed as ours, and so it's easy for their minds to get manipulated watching something rather than ours. Maybe your child doesn't just love the Teletubbies and wants to watch it every day, maybe they were subliminally hypnotized into liking it. What's it? Finally, at number 1 is the backstory. Scarlet Siren claims she found out the backstory of the show and it's horrific, long, but it's worth it. The show was based on a mental institute in Bulgaria nicknamed La La Land. The children inside were treated horribly. They were abused, locked in cold dark rooms, carers would forget to feed them. It was bad. And each Teletubby was based on a group of kids that all died on the same day. First was a girl called Lala. She had a facial deformity that stretched her face so it looked like she was permanently smiling. She was locked away and isolated for 5 years, so her mind had just basically gone. She would dance in her room with no music, would mutter gibberish because she couldn't speak a word of Bulgarian, and she turned quite yellow because of zero exposure to the sun. Yet she was always smiling, even when abused, even when her legs broke and she couldn't dance, all the time. And this of course was the inspiration behind Lala. Another kid called Towote was 7 at the time and would spend all his time rocking back and forth and speaking gibberish as well. He was deaf and he also had a similar facial deformity as Lala, which meant he too was smiling all the time. He was the most stubborn of the lot. He used to hit his head against the wall until the stone chipped off, so the carers used to tie him to the fences outside. They left him there so frequently and for so long he'd get frostbite often and his limbs turned bluish from the ice. This was the inspiration behind Tinky Winky. Next comes a 6-year-old boy named Donka. He couldn't speak because no one ever taught him to, and he was sick all the time. Half of his life he was starved because he'd throw up anything he ever ate. He was so weak he couldn't even walk, so he spent days just lying in his own vomit, too sick and weak to move away. No one knew what was wrong with him and the carers never called a doctor to find out. Donka was the inspiration behind Dipsy. Last was a 3-year-old girl called Polina who spent her whole life at the institute. She had the same deformity as the first two, so she always smiled as well, which horrified her parents, and that's why they sent her there. One night she fell asleep near the logs for a fire and the carers threw her into it, not realizing she wasn't a log. Her skin was melting, her flesh was burning, she was screaming, and the carers got her out, but it was far too late. Her skin was burnt a raw red color and never recovered, yet she still smiled. And that was the inspiration behind Po. You may be thinking this is so tragic, how do these kids even live day-to-day life? But the only thing that made them happy were the TVs that showed them happiness and a life outside the institute. One day they realized the carers wanted to get rid of the TVs because they were far too expensive, so all 4 formulated a plan to hide them before they could. That night when the carers weren't there, they took the tiny TVs but realized they had nowhere to hide them. They decided to swallow them like they had swallowed many of their toys to hide them from the carers. The next morning, the carers came into their room heaving from the heavy stench of blood. The 4 kids had clawed out their own stomachs and the blood-stained TVs were there in the middle. Their organs were spilling out, flies were all over them, yet they were smiling.
Ooh, so that was disturbing. I'm glad we watched that. So with all of this creepiness being said, yes, there is indeed a new show that came out in 2017 called Teletubbies, which is their kids. No one knows where they came from, how they're related, no one knows. It's supposedly their kids. So let me know what your thoughts are on this down below. They were already creepy to begin with. Just the look of them, they're already but knowing this background and all these theories and So again, let me know what your thought is down below, and don't forget to answer the question, which is, what is your favorite spooky/Halloween song? Leave it down below and I'll feature it in the next video. I don't know what my favorite Halloween or spooky song is right now. I can't pick favorite music. I just can't do that. So that is my answer. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on socials, turn the bell on so you know when I post the next video so you can comment and get in the next shout out. And I will see you guys next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!